And then there we go. You might see me kind of looking down a little bit, just so I can look at my notes. I wanted to prepare a slide presentation, but I did not get all the slides put together kind of the way that I wanted. However, this is more of a business type meeting, and maybe can be a little bit more interactive with you and I. One of the things that I was reminded of this week is that what the type of building a business, building a network marketing business or a home-based business is very much like, in a way, being a teacher. And I say that because a teacher is usually known as someone who is a pedagogue, and a pedagogue is an individual that has learned the art and science behind something. So teachers usually have to learn the art and science of teaching. So it's not just a routine that they have to know, but there's an art to it as well. And that's kind of the same thing for us as network marketers and trying to build a business. We really have to learn the art of introducing someone to Young Living and to the product and to the business opportunity. And that's not something that happens overnight, not for most of us. Maybe there are some people out there, and there probably are maybe several people, that is a very natural thing. But for most of us, it's something that we have to, spend some time learning. So I wanted to just kind of share 4 things. I think it's 4 here. Key things that I have been thinking about a lot lately. One of them is people unite with people and not necessarily with product. So definitely there can be some needs that the products are going to help members or potential members to be able to use the products and receive help and benefit from using them. But really, people unite with people. And so we have to have that connection with someone, that personal connection, before we can even really start to talk about the product. That's number 1. Number 2, I don't know that these are necessarily in any kind of order, but I'm getting a little message there. Hopefully that goes away. I don't know that these are in any particular order, but number 2 is sponsoring is a process, not an event. So when you're talking to someone about sponsoring them, this isn't necessarily something that you're going to talk to one time and then it's done. You might talk to a potential member several times before you ever get around to talking about sponsoring. Now, you don't want to have it linger on for too long. I mean, you have other people that you may want to, put some emphasis on and try to talk to other people and not constantly be thinking about one individual or 2 or 3 individuals that are sitting on the fence. But at the same time, it's probably going to take 2 or 3 encounters before you can actually say, now, are you interested, or can we get you signed up? Let's get you signed up, kind of thing. And it takes a lot of follow-up, right? So that's number 2. Number 3, ask questions and listen. So sometimes we're just so eager, we want to get the sign up, we want to get somebody enrolled and using the product. We really have to ask the right kinds of questions and then listen to what their answers are before we can actually start. We don't want to put the cart before the horse, as they say, and get so excited about signing someone up that we stop listening to them and asking the right kinds of questions to make sure that Young Living is going to be a good fit for them, even though we know Young Living will be. The products in and of themselves will be. And then the 4th one, I think I'm up to 4, right? Number 4, be generally interested in others. So you want to have respect for someone versus admiration. And that comes from, that's something that I kind of want to talk about, really related to this industry, because a lot of times we admire members within network marketing because of the rank that they received. So if they're at a particular rank, such as Royal Crown Diamond or Crown Diamond, and we just all of a sudden admire them. And that's, you know, there's nothing wrong with that, but we really just need to have respect for individuals for who they are. It doesn't matter what rank they have or how much they've earned in commissions, or you know, how big their downline organization is, or maybe somebody is doing a lot in their business building activities and someone else is doing what they can, not maybe as much, but still what they're able to do. And we just have to be respectful of all of that. So those are kind of the 4 key things that I really wanted to address and talk about tonight. And then in addition to that, mention a few other things. So I really wanted to put those 4 things on a slide. I'm still going to try to do that. But also I wanted to just really talk about prospecting. So prospecting, something that I heard this week, which I really like, is that when you should always be prospecting. We know that. You should always be doing that or trying to. And when your mouth is open, your business is open. So that was the phrase that I heard this week. And I really thought that was to the point, that when your mouth is open, your business is open, because that's when we have the opportunity to share with others about Young Living and listen to them, find out what their needs are, and then share in the right way. That's the real key, is trying to share in the right way. So what's the most effective way to prospect? So like I said, when your mouth is open, your business is open. Is the most effective way to prospect going to be texting or email? Now, I'm not trying to say that texting and email are bad. They're very good, they're very convenient, very quick, fast. But at the same time, most of us are going to get more traction with someone if we are talking with them on the telephone and they can hear our voice, or if we are face-to-face with someone and they can actually speak with us. That's when there's that personal connection that takes place, and they know that we care about them, and they know that we're there for their personal interests, and we're not just in it for ourselves. Here's another email, here's another text, here's another post of some kind. We really want to find out, well, how are you? What's going on in your life? How's your family? How are things in your part of the world? And then, you know, after talking and listening, we can kind of move the conversation to where we can actually talk about business or talk about Young Living, and that's fine, because we've reignited that relationship, and they know that we care about them, and now we're ready to also present what we wanted to talk with them about as far as business. So one example of that is this week, Heather and I have really been trying to reach out to members in Canada. We saw that our volume was down in our Canadian organization, and because we have a little group of Canadians, and we really wanted to reach out to them and let them know that we're here for them. And so we were making some phone calls, and it was great to interact with some of those members and have them just say, oh, well, I'm not trying to build a business, but I am a product user, and I try to purchase products regularly, and sometimes regularly is just a couple times a year, but they're still wanting to purchase the products regularly, and they appreciated the phone call. And on that call, we weren't trying to say, well, go order. We want you to buy some more products. What we were really, our intent was really to let them know we're having webinars, and we'd really love for you to join us on the webinar. Now, that's where we found out that some of those members are wondering if we're doing webinars on product, because they would much more prefer joining a webinar that's product-based than joining one that's business-based. So we let them know, okay, we need to take that into account and work on getting some more product-based webinars going. The second thing is that we found out that these members, some of them did have questions that they needed answered. They were simple questions for the most part. One of them wanted to know if the Thieves lozenges are available in Canada, because they had heard that they were going to be made available, and they wanted some, but they didn't know if they had yet been made available. So we were able to find out for them that yes, Thieves lozenges are available in Canada, and also that we kind of went over what it means to order products from the U.S. because if someone lives in an international market, they can order from the U.S. They have to pay the U.S. pricing and U.S. shipping costs, and that can be expensive if it's going to be shipped to an international address, but they can still order the products unless it's something that the country has said is prohibited from entering in that market, which most of the time almost all the products are available to be sent into other markets. So, that was just a couple of things that happened with us this week where we realized, calling out and talking to others really did help. And we were able to form a relationship, let them know that we're not here to sell you on anything. We're just here to let you know about the webinars. We're here to answer questions, be a support. And also we were letting them know that the holiday catalog or holiday product guide had been made available. And if they ordered in the month of October, they should receive a holiday product guide catalog in their order, but they could order those separately as well if they wanted to. Now, in some of the international markets, that might be a little different, but in the US, we were reaching out to members and letting them know that. So that was really it. We were just trying to inform them about some information and then let them know that we're here for them, and we wanted to hear their stories and get to know them better. So this is a people business, and you really do have to practice, practice, practice. That's kind of the name of the game. And there's one other thing I really wanted to talk about, and that is it's really the three types of circles that we have in our business. The first circle is our warm circle. Now, our warm circle is going to include primarily friends, family, close associates, individuals that we know fairly well. That's your warm circle. And that's usually the first circle that most of us start off with when we're introducing Young Living to others, is family, friends, and close associates, neighbors, others that we have a close relationship with. The next circle is your cold circle. They call it the cold circle. The cold circle is going to usually include people that you just meet every day, but you don't know them really well. So it could be someone that you're interacting with at the grocery store, someone that you're interacting with on public transportation, someone that you interact with at a hotel, or if you're renting a car when you go to the rental car station or office, or someone that you meet on an airplane. That would really kind of be your cold circle, because you don't know the individual. You're trying to get to know them. They're not someone, though, that you have a really close relationship with, but it doesn't mean that you don't want to open your mouth and open your business and share Young Living with them. But the third circle is the one that I find and have heard that most people get the best value out of and the most success from. And they call this circle just the third circle. But what group of people does it include? It primarily includes individuals from your warm circle that know someone who might be interested or are interested in Young Living or in the products that Young Living offers. So a lot of times friends, family, close associates, they may say, well, I'll buy some product from you, but I don't want to do the business. I don't want to take it to that level, but I'm happy to purchase some products. Tell me here are some issues I'm facing. Tell me what you think would be good for me. But a lot of times we forget to say, wonderful, I'm here to help you. However, who do you know that I could reach out to or that you could introduce me to so that I can also share Young Living with that individual? Because you may not want to share it, but I want to share it. And you probably know some people that I can share with. So who do you know? And there are many business builders in network marketing that their biggest leaders have often been those referrals from individuals in the warm circle. And that's why it's so important to ask, who is it that individuals in your warm circle know might be interested or will be interested in learning about Young Living, because you're going to get you'll get a lot more possibility of traction with them than you will with just the individuals in your warm circle per se. Now, that I think is, primarily what I wanted to talk about tonight, as well as one other, and that is making a list. So we talk about that. I know that as Heather and I have met with different leaders in our organization, that's come up as a topic quite a few times. Heather and I have never really asked anyone to show us their list or to tell us specifically if they actually did write out a list, but I know that that is a common practice, and it usually is a very helpful one within this industry and as you begin to build your business. That list is a list of names of individuals that you know, and it doesn't matter what circle they're in, whether it's the warm circle, cold circle, or that third circle, but it's individuals that you know. And you want it to be, usually it's 100. You want it, and I know that sounds like a big number, but I'm going to kind of explain that a little bit. It should be a minimum of 100 that you're trying to write down on a piece of paper, your list of 100 individuals. So who does that include? Well, certainly from your warm circle, it's going to include family, close friends, and associates. But a lot of times we forget about people such as doctors that we have met with, dentists, physical therapists that we may have gone to. What about someone who has been a coach to us, whether it's a trainer or some other kind of a health coach, such as a nutritionist, or even someone, for those that have families, if you have a child that's in sports, or someone that's taking piano lessons, or any of those types of things, you want to be writing down the names of those individuals as well, because you never know if they might also be interested, and usually they will be interested, maybe not in building a business, but certainly in purchasing the product. And so quite quickly, your list can start to grow when you really start thinking about all the people that you know in your life that you could write their name down, and whether or not you've introduced them to Young Living. And then certainly with social media, Facebook, we now have the ability to reconnect with a lot of people that have been in our lives, whether that's from high school or college, or former positions out in the employment world. So LinkedIn and Facebook can often give us other names of individuals that we haven't probably been in contact with for a long time, but we can now reconnect with them and introduce the opportunity of Young Living or the products of Young Living to them and see if they have any interest. And so again, that list of 100 names can start to grow and grow really quickly. Not everyone's going to be interested. You're going to hear no, and they're not interested, but that's okay. That's just all part of the process. And one of the other things that I heard this week that I really agree with is that you just have to keep trying. You have to keep practicing. The practice makes perfect. And so there are those who have practiced again and again and again to the point where they just feel like naturals, whereas others of us, we may not have practiced enough that we feel that comfortable. But as we practice more and more, it will become that much more of a feeling of comfort to us, that we feel comfortable doing it, and that someone will resonate with the message that we are going to share. Again, the other important thing is the more we practice, the more we can start to realize how to arrange our message so that it will have meaning to the person that we're speaking with. I kind of wanted to share this opportunity, and I hope I don't mean for this to sound negative in any way. So I hope anybody that might listen to this after the fact, they don't find this to be a negative story or negative portrayal whatsoever of the story. But Heather and I, we recently went to North Carolina, and we had the opportunity to participate in the boot camp that Melissa Kiefer was providing. And that was great. It was wonderful. Now, on Saturday night, it was Saturday night, we went out to dinner, and we ran into one of the most colorful and unique waiters that I've met, and his name was Vladimir. And Vladimir was very, very interesting. And in that evening, we first just let him kind of talk about himself and his family and sort of his experiences and such. And we got to learn and know more about him. And then there was a point when we realized, this gentleman could speak several different languages. He'd lived in various different countries, and he had made his home in North Carolina for a number of years, his wife being from North Carolina. So he'd been living in North Carolina for a while. Well, it became very apparent this guy would be great to have in the organization, in our organization. And so how wonderful would it be to have his expertise? Well, one of the things that Melissa did was she offered him her business card and an oil sample pack. And I'm not sure exactly what oil it was. I want to say it was lemon, but I don't know if it was lemon or if it was a different oil. In any event, he accepted those, and then it was quite interesting. He put on some reading glasses so that he could read the business card, and then he proceeded to tell us that he had been involved in network marketing previously, and mentioned the name of the company that he'd been with before, and then he kind of made it sound like he didn't have a lot of interest in it. As I've had a chance to kind of think about that, and this is what I would recommend for anyone who's ever introducing Young Living to someone, always reflect back on how the conversation went and how the whole experience took place, so that you can try to figure out ways in which to make it better the next time, especially if it's a similar situation the next time. So one of the things that I just kind of came up with over this last week was, would the experience have been different if, after getting to know Vladimir better, if we would have said, "Hey, Vladimir, we have something here for you. Come here," and said, "Close your eyes and open your hands up. We want to put something in your hands." And we could have actually taken that oil sample pack, which I didn't even know that Melissa had those, by the way. And that was great that she even had them, because Heather and I didn't have any. And we could have actually ripped open that oil pack and squeezed the oil into his hands. And then we could have said, "Okay, rub your hands together and now lift them up and smell and tell us what you're thinking or what you're feeling." That could have happened all before giving the business card or giving him a sample pack of the oil. And that would have maybe allowed him to have a connection with the product, to the point where he would have said, "Wow, this smells like lemon. This is really nice. This is good. What is this? What did you give me? What did you put on my hands?" And then we could have taken it to a level from there and maybe talked to him a little bit more about, "Well, you like that, so would you like to know more about it?" And then, we could have proceeded forward that way. I think that probably would have changed things a little bit. Maybe in the end, he still would have had the same feelings and the same comments that he did while we were there in the restaurant, but it also may have just had a slightly different change to his whole attitude about everything if we'd helped him to try to have that connection first. What we did end up doing in the end was asking him to take that oil sample and take it home to his wife, put it in her hands, let her smell it. He said that he was going to do that, and so I hope that he did. I hope that maybe his wife had an experience with it. We really should do some follow-up with him, because I still think he would be a fantastic addition to the organization, and with all of his knowledge and world experience, I think that would be great. So again, the whole point of telling that story is just to remind everyone, your experience, when you open your mouth and you open your business, it doesn't mean it's going to be perfect every time. And so it's great to reflect, try to figure out what went well and what could go better, and then make changes the next time you approach someone or speak with someone about Young Living. And that includes not only people that you come in contact with face to face, but even members that you are calling on the telephone or texting or emailing. Whenever you have an experience with someone, just make sure that you're listening. And if things don't go great, well, try to figure out what might have gone better. And then the next time you can have a different approach and a different experience, and hopefully a more positive one. So that really, in a nutshell, I know that hasn't taken longer than half an hour, but that in a nutshell is really what I wanted to talk about tonight, because I feel like, that's one of the important things we could all be working on right now to try to help add some strength to our businesses, especially at this holiday season, because now is the time when sales are usually better, simply because we have a very fantastic product. Young Living has a fantastic product, and several fantastic products, and the holiday season is a wonderful time to be sharing those with family and friends and others. And often during the holidays, when you're trying to find a gift to give to someone, you want it to be unique. What more unique product can you get than something from Young Living that you could share with someone during these holidays? And so again, that's the other thing, is that we really just wanted to remind everyone about the holidays and give this kind of a training for when you are talking with someone during the holiday season, during family get-togethers, and the products available in the holiday catalog and how those can be introduced. Now's the right time and a great time to do that. So that was really all that I had. I don't know if Heather wants to add some more. I'm going to turn to her, see if she, come on, scoot in here. You're good?
Yeah.
Okay. So Deborah, do you want to add anything to the webinar? Tell me what you're thinking, since we've just got you on the webinar tonight, and we're recording this though, and we'll save it and put it out there on the YouTube channel for others to watch. But is there any insight that you want to give to this?
Not really insight, but that's a great idea to carry the packets around. It's easier to carry the sachets around than it is the actual bottles. So you can put it in your wallet or in your pocket.
Absolutely.
We have those little sample bottles, the tiny ones too.
Right, yeah. My kid's much older than that, so I didn't get the sample bottles like that. But, and I don't carry a purse. Maybe I should start doing that. I think it's probably a good idea.
Or some kind of
things with you. But yeah, as far as gifts, I every year I give Young Living as gifts.
That's a great idea.
It is a great idea.
Yeah, and that's also one of the, I think, just to throw this into this webinar, that's one of the great perks of the Essential Rewards program, because if you're really wanting to share Young Living with others and you're trying to find that economical way of doing it, you can literally order each month, whether it's the 50 PV minimum to be on that program or the 100 PV minimum because you're trying to earn commissions. You can be on that program and earn those reward points and then cash in all of those reward points at the end of the year so that you can get the free product and share them with other family and friends and associates that you might have in your life, especially during the holiday season. That's kind of one of the things that Heather and I like to do, is we really like to save up our points if we can, cash them in during the holiday season, and then share those products with family, friends, and others.
Then another thing to remember is that if you do purchase those things that you give as gifts,
so we're sort of hoping we'll see some things
because it would be it would be promotional.
Right. Absolutely.
That's promotional. Samples. You give away samples. That's a reduction. So.
Really cool.
Yeah.
I saved a lot of money on taxes last year. So I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah.
It's totally amazing.
Have that write-off.
Well, yeah, all of it.
Not even negotiating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I bought a new computer, laptop, with me.
I know a little bit about
Oh, yeah. I made a huge difference.
Yeah, that's what my dad was saying last night too.
Pardon me?
That's what my dad was saying last night too. He's probably gonna put a big order together this month, and he wants to use most of it for giveaway things to help with taxes.
Right. Yeah. Well, just
Yeah.
on everything. Cell phone.
You know what?
I'll let you do a webinar on that one day.
Trying to keep my
On taxes.
Yeah, and the benefits of it. Having home-based business.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That would be a great topic to have. I'm not sure that I'm the right one to give that webinar, but I think that would be a fantastic topic to have. Talk about just the benefits of having a home-based business. And really, one of the things, this is something that I actually shared, Heather and I shared while we were in North Carolina with all of the participants at the boot camp, is that the top financial advisors out there, so the one that I really like to listen to is Dave Ramsey. But I don't care if it's Dave Ramsey or if you're talking about Susan Orman or others, they all will suggest that you should have your own home-based business or your own business. It doesn't necessarily have to be home-based, but that everyone should have a side business for the simple fact that they can use that for tax write-off purposes. So many of us, there's a lot of us that go to a job 9 to 5, but we don't have any kind of a side business to help us offset some of those tax from the tax issue, the tax implications that we end up facing for it. And so they all recommend or say you should have some sort of a business. So home-based business, definitely, but I guess you could have even just a small, I don't know, storefront type business or something as well too. But everyone should have something. So it looks like we had Susan join us. Susan, how are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, doing good, doing good. So just wanted to, we kind of finished a little early here, but I was just asking Deborah. We had you and Deborah on tonight, and we're going to probably try to do a different weekday or weeknight meeting, maybe a Tuesday night, because I've been hearing that Friday nights are a little bit difficult for others to join. So we're going to try maybe on a Tuesday night. I did record this. I am going to put this on the YouTube channel, but I just wanted to go over tonight some of the things about sponsoring and how we just have to listen to people and talk to everyone, but some of the things to kind of think about related to that. So this is recorded, so I'll be able to put this on the YouTube channel. That might give you an opportunity to kind of listen to some of the things that we talked about before. But did you want to say anything, or we've asked Deborah, but did you want to say anything about sponsoring or speaking with others, or just any comments whatsoever?
No, just what time did you start?
Oh, sorry. We started at 5:30 Mountain Time, so that was 7:30 your time. Yep. Sorry about that.
So did I miss the whole thing? Is it
well,
over?
Yeah. Well, we really normally try to schedule it for an hour, so technically I should go for another 20 minutes, but I didn't have my slide presentation put together kind of how I wanted, so I just sort of talked through it instead of preparing a PowerPoint presentation. But like I said, I've recorded this, and I'm going to put it on the YouTube channel.
That would work.
Okay. So hopefully that'll help. But anyway, Deborah, did you have anything else?
No.
Okay. Well, thank you both for joining us. I think I'll just end the recording and we'll put this on YouTube, and then those that weren't able to make the meeting, I hope that they can check it out, and encourage anyone to go to that, by the way. The YouTube channel and the Vimeo channel are both open to the public. I mean, anyone and everyone. So whether it's someone who's already a Young Living member or someone who's thinking about becoming a Young Living member, it doesn't, or if they're in our organization, not in our organization, it doesn't matter. It's really open to anyone. And these webinars are as well. I mean, I'm happy to share this kind of information with anyone that is interested, and not really limit it to just our organization. But
Okay. Do
although
you
we do
already
want to
have some videos up?
We do. Yep. I've recorded the last couple of compensation plan videos, and then Heather and I made a really cute one about a former commercial back in the 70s that was pretty popular, and it's related to Zing. You may have seen that.
Did you share the link for the?
Does everyone know what if you go to youtube.com and then you click on you click on the search, you can type in oil, capital O, lowercase IL, and then a space, capital J, lowercase UNKIES, so Oil Junkies, but with a space in between. And it's the Oil Junkies channel, and it will bring up the Oil Junkies channel that we've created, and that has all of our videos that we've posted on there. And we've got a handful. It has a picture that it doesn't have a picture of Heather or I, but it just says Oil Junkies, and then it has a picture of Young Living, and it's I want to say that it's the lemon oil. It's lemon oil, I believe, that we put on that as the picture for that channel. So I think you'll be able to find it fairly easily if you just type in Oil Junkies with the space in between, the capital O and the capital J, and look for the Oil Junkies channel that way.
Okay,
Okay.
I can do that.
If you can't find it, let us know, because we do want to make sure that you're able to find it and share it with others. But it's just the Oil Junkies channel. So.
Okay.
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 All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and we're going to schedule something probably for Tuesday of next week, and then I'll also put this out there for anyone who wants to watch it. And thank you again. So have a wonderful evening and a wonderful weekend.
You too.
Okay.
Take care.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Coming home with us.